everyone. Let's start this video by understanding about CSS selectors, combinators, and a little bit about CSS specificity. And it will enable us to understand what different rule sets will be applied when we have different CSS properties targeting the same HTML element. And it will also give us a clear picture of how to structure our CSS in such a way such that there is no conflicting of CSS. So let us get started with iDigitalpreneur. Now, a very simple definition of CSS selector is basically it is an identifier given to an HTML element which needs to be styled as per the styling properties in CSS. So whenever we want to connect the HTML with the CSS identifies the element to be styled in HTML via something called a CSS selector. So you can consider a CSS selector to be a namespace for the HTML element which is to be styled. And in the CSS specification, there are basically four ways in which you can construct your simple CSS selectors. The first one being the conventional HTML elements itself. That means you can choose the name of the HTML elements and you can use that to target all of the HTML elements of that particular origin. So if I'm selecting all the H1 or all the H2, all the H2s in the page will get selected. The second one is using the classes. We already saw what classes are in the HTML module. They are a way to kind of group together multiple HTML elements. And if you want to target a group of those HTML elements, you use the classes CSS selector. The third one being ID. If you want to specifically identify a unique HTML element in the page, you can use the ID attribute. And finally, we have the data hyphen attributes, which is used to select all those elements for which we have specified a custom data attribute property. We already know about all of these attributes in the HTML video. So these are all simple CSS selectors which you can use to kind of style things in CSS. Now, apart from simple selectors, it is also possible to use complex combination of CSS selectors to target specific element or elements. So this is where the concept of CSS combinators comes into the picture. And a CSS combinator is basically a relationship between two or more simple CSS selectors. So you can consider an example that if you search for a particular place which has a name conflict all across India, for example, if you decide to search for Gandhi Chowk, now you are going to get a list of every Gandhi Chowk in India as well as in the world. But once you start applying more keywords, which will kind of make it more specific that you want to search for a particular location of Gandhi Chowk in a particular city, then your search results in the Google map will actually go down. That is the exact concept of a CSS combinator, is that you can use the combination of different CSS simple selectors to kind of combine the expression and the relationship and target much more specific HTML elements. Now, to summarize what we are doing, I have my index.html and style.css open up. I'll just link my style.css here. And inside of my body, we will start off with a couple of CSS combinators. So there are four CSS combinators which we use precisely. The first one that we are going to discuss is something called a universal selector. Now, for example, let's say I add in a couple of HTML tags in my page, something like this, and I also add in a paragraph with some words in it, right? So this is all of my HTML template right now. Now, for example, I want all of my text inside of my HTML. Every element that I'm going to add in my page, I want them to have a color of red. So I can go in my style.css and instead of manually selecting each and every HTML element and giving them a color of red, I can select all of the HTML elements at once using the star operator. And the star operator is basically a universal selector. It selects each and every HTML element in the page. And now I can go ahead and give a color of red, save it. And now whatever HTML element I keep on adding, it will of course have a color of red. This is the use case of a universal CSS selector. This is a part of a combinator as well because you're selecting multiple elements at once. Now, The next CSS combinator, which we are going to see, is something called a descendant selector. Now, what do we mean by descendant selectors? Descendant selectors are a way of selecting all the descendants of a particular parent HTML tag. So, what do I mean by this is, let's say I wrap up my body and all of my HTML elements inside a pair of div, and I have multiple h4s here, and I also have another h4 here. Let's say it's something like this. Now I want to select all of the h4s present inside of my div. That means I want to select all the descendants of uh, the div which are of type h4. So to select this, I can use the space operator, the white space operator. So I will name the parent element in which I want to find out those descendants, and then specify the HTML type, and also something like this. And now I want their font sizes to be, let's say, 30 pixels. And now you can see that all of the h4s which are descendants of my div, that means they come inside of the div, are now getting the properties which I specified in the CSS. This is a way of selecting all the descendants of my HTML. The third way is to select direct child, or something which we call child selectors. Now, to kind of differentiate between what a descendant is and what a child is, a child is a direct child. That means it immediately comes inside of the parent element, while a descendant can be both the child as well as any other elements which comes inside of the nested parent itself. So what do I mean by this is, let's say I have these h4s. Now these h4s are a direct child of my div, but inside of this div I have another div, and I am copying all of these h4s inside of this div, and this div is essentially the child of the outer div. Now I will name these, or let's remove these two h4s. Let's just target one h4, and I will say this is a descendant. Now, although this h4 is coming inside of the div, it is not its direct child, because the direct parent of this h4 is this div, and the ancestor of this h4 is the outer div. And the descendant HTML selector selects all the elements which are direct child. So that means these will get selected, as well as this h4 as well, because it is an indirect child of div. But when we are selecting the child selector, instead of using a white space, we use a angle bracket. And now, once I save this, you will see that all the h4s which are direct descendants of the div. So what I will do is I will make this to be section, so that there is a demarcation of what we are doing. And now you can see that the last h4 is not getting targeted, owing to the fact that I am only targeting the child elements. So this is the difference between a descendant selector and a child CSS selector. Now, the next CSS selector that we're going to look at is something called the adjacent sibling selector. Now, the adjacent sibling selector specifies that it selects the sibling element which comes immediately after a particular HTML element. So what do I mean by this is, let us say that I want to target all the h4s which are coming immediately after a paragraph. So now in this particular case, if I write P and the symbol for adjacent sibling selector is a plus, and then I say h4, and I want them to give a color of, let's say, blue. So you can see only one of the h4 completes the criteria of being directly adjacent to a paragraph HTML tag. Although this h4 is also a sibling of this paragraph tag, yet this h4 is not a direct sibling of this paragraph. The only h4 which is a direct sibling of the paragraph is this h4. And this is what the adjacent sibling selector does. It selects the sibling which is an h4, and that should be a direct immediate sibling to the paragraph HTML tag. This is how you select adjacent uh, sibling selectors. And there is one another variation to this by the name of general sibling selector, and it is denoted by something called a console button or a tilde icon, which comes right left to the one button on your keyboard. If I save this, you will see all the siblings which come immediately after, or all the siblings which are coming after the paragraph, not necessarily only immediately, but all the siblings which are coming after the paragraph HTML tag will be targeted using the general sibling CSS selector. So even if I have more H4s like these, all of these H4s will get selected if I am using a general sibling selector. But if I were to use a adjacent sibling selector using a plus icon, only one of my H4 will get targeted, because that is the immediate H4 after paragraph. So this is all about different CSS combinators. You can play around with the 4 different types of CSS combinators that we discussed, and I'll just summarize all of them up. The first one being the universal selector. Now, to summarize all those CSS combinators that we did, so we have the descendant selector, which selects all the specific child elements and the descendants of my parent element. We have the direct child selector, or you can call this as a direct descendant selector. It selects all the direct child of the parent element. Then we have the adjacent sibling selector. It selects the element that is directly coming after the specific HTML element. And finally, we have the general sibling selector, which kind of selects all the siblings which are coming after a specified HTML element. So this is all there is to CSS selectors and combinators. Now let's discuss the topic of CSS specificity, and this is a really conceptual topic which enables us to understand which particular CSS rule set is going to get applied when we have different conflicting CSS properties which are being applied to a single HTML element. We will see what the calculation is and how to calculate when you have 4-5 different CSS properties, how you go ahead and calculate the weight of each of these rule sets to determine which particular CSS rule set will get applied.